Mail call. I was on Instagram there, and Betty Blue 1970 was giving away a gift that she had won from Grease Boy Customs, and she ended up giving it to me. Ta-da! Let's open this baby. Oh, look what else is in here. Got some stickers. That's pretty sweet. Grease Boy Customs Hot Rod Shop. It's pretty sweet. That's awesome. And the piece de resistance, the shift knob, which I think is going to look really awesome in that guy. What do you think? So special thanks to Betty Blue 1970 and Greasy Boy Customs, Dirty Dan over there. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel over here somewhere, or maybe down in the comments, I'm not sure. Anyway, back to work. Let's do this. I want to set up the rotisserie here. I want to move the car over this way so that I can work on the other side tub. I threw the wheel in here just for a little aesthetic look. Yeah, I think it looks cool as hell. I need to clean up in here. I got some empties and shit that I got to take back and move this out of here. So let's clean this up. Let's clean this up. And let's clean this up and make it pretty. There we go. That's better. Lots of room to work in here now. Let's move this thing over and start doing stuff. Okay, got the car moved over here. I've got it supported underneath on the cribbage, rotisserie at the front, rotisserie at the back. I'm going to leave it on the back here because it'll help me climb up and into the trunk area here to work with this. I've got my old inner wheelhouse clamped up in there. I've got my new Minitub over here, and I'm just comparing the template to the Minitub to try and avoid having a large gap here like I did last time. However, splitting that tub was kind of a blessing in disguise because I had to split it anyway to move this tab over, move this flange over to match up with the outer wheelhouse. This one here, it fit a little bit tighter to that outer wheelhouse whenever I test fit it over here on the bench. So I think as long as there's not a big gap here, I should be okay. So let's mark this out and get it cut out. I've already gone ahead and marked out the bottom side of the frame rail and taped it up, got it ready to be cut. I just need to template the inside, get that marked out, tape it up, cut it out. Let's get going. Okay, as I'm using the template on this, it may present a challenge because of the shock mount right there. This part angles up like that, but I think it'll be just fine. Marked along there, scribed along there. Let's parallel shift this over and mark it out. Finish marking it out and get it ready to go. Yep, as I parallel shift this over, this part of the template up here is just kind of hanging off in space, so it's really hard to scribe that. I use the dividers and kind of figured that out, but I'm gonna cut it a little short whenever I go to cut this, and then just kind of sneak up on it. But down around here where it's nice and flat, I can scribe that. Let's pull this off there and start masking this up and getting it ready to cut. Okay, I've got this all masked up here. It's pretty darn close to 2 3/4 there. Yeah, pretty darn close, up and around. So let's get to cutting. Okay, I'm getting this cut out of here. First thing I did was take a cutoff wheel and go around the tape here along the trunk floor and cut through the trunk floor. And then I had to get over here and start cutting out some of the bracing. Here's my little pile of pieces. I'm trying to take this out a little bit at a time and kind of sneak up on it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. In here you've got the trunk floor, it's about 18 gauge, and you've got this internal support piece here, which is about 18 gauge, and then you've got this brace here, which is 1/8 inch, and it goes all the way from here, and it came up and curved out along here and goes all the way back. It went all the way back to right here. So I'm kind of cutting that out of there, whittling it down. This piece here has got to come out because it's about an inch and a half outside of where the cut line needs to be. So got to do that. Also got to trim some of this back and bend flanges here and here, and then I can start test fitting that Minitub and then figuring out what I want to do with the closeout plates. But that's where I'm at so far, and we'll keep trucking. Okay, I've got this trimmed out just about the way that I like it. I've still got a little bit of touch up to do here and there, but I think it's good enough that I can throw that Minitub in here and do the first test fit. Let's do that. All right, got her up in there into place. She's fitting up. It looks okay. Still got the big gap at the back here. See the floor down there. There's my creeper. And the gap over here along this flange. So I'll be splitting this guy right there, just the same as the other one, which I think it turned out pretty good. So I might as well repeat it, right? Other than that, it's clamped up in there. It's looking pretty good. I can pull it out of there and start making up closeout plates. Got a little gap around this guy, just like the other one, but get under there with the hammer and fix that up. Hey, looking good. Okay, I marked all around the Minitub there where I've got backing, where I've got flanges up in here, and where I don't have flanges, so that I know kind of where I'm at. Starting with closeout plates, I'm going to build this one first. This will be done in kind of two pieces because there's this upper section here. But Detroit Speed sends you a piece of 1/8 inch flat steel. It's kind of angled on the end. That angle matches up to that angle, or it kind of should. But I start by making a curve in that and getting it to fit up in there. Kind of whittling it down. Then I've marked it to cut the length here. So let's cut the length and see how it fits. Okay, got this little guy whittled down and it's fitting in there real good. I like it. Got a little gap in a few areas, but that's nothing I can't weld up. The piece that cut off the end of it is just about perfect to go up in here. But we'll do that later. First, let's hit all of this with some weld-through primer, and then we'll tack this guy up in there. Okay, I got this closeout plate just tacked into place there. I went ahead and made this little piece. It fits in there real nice. But then I started really stepping back and looking at this and thinking about, what am I trying to accomplish here? Well, I want to close out this area, and I want to close out this area. But that leaves this area here without any real backing, like that Minitub's got a weld to this. And I don't really like plug welding to the edge of the floor like that. I'd rather have a flange here. And so I started working with the Detroit Speed closeout plate that they provide you. Just doing a little trimming on it and getting it to set up in here just about right. But it's got a few things that I don't like about it. Number one being that it hangs down right here. Hangs down, and it's really not necessary for it to hang down that far. I'd like it to just kind of close out this area and look real nice like it did on the other side. It does, however, provide a nice flange here to weld to. Another problem that I've got here is if I pull this off, the bottom part of this guy, it's not complete to the corner here, so it'll leave a little gap there, as well as it's in too far here and out too far here, and I don't really like that. And I like what I did on the other side, where I put the 1/8 inch flat steel against this frame rail, butt welded it to the frame rail and brought it out here, and then had a nice ledge to put that on. So I think I'm going to cut on that a little bit. I'm going to weld a 1/8 inch flat piece in here, have it stick out, and then cut it off so that it just kind of covers this area. So I can make a nice cover for that, and then have it come over here and make a flange there as well. Let's do some cutting and trimming. Another thing that I don't like is this right here. There's a hole right in here where the frame rail doesn't quite meet up to this brace, and right here along that frame rail there. I'm going to weld this stuff shut because I don't like holes there. Anyway, I'm going to do that stuff. Okay, I welded up this area here. Cleaned it up real nice. It's nice and closed off, as well as I welded in a piece of 1/8 inch flat steel, butt welded it to the frame rail here. Get this light out of your eyes. Yeah, just kind of tack that up there and then cut it off. And now I can use my masking tape and make an accurate template of this that I can apply to this guy here and cut it off exactly kind of where I want it. I want that to just cover this area and then come up and make a nice small flange across here. Let's do that. Okay, I'm getting this trimmed up here. It's looking real good. Before I go any further, I want to throw that Minitub up in here and test fit it with this closeout plate in place so that I know kind of how far up in here I can go with this to make it look nice and clean. Okay, here it is with the Minitub in, and yeah, you can see like that'll clean this area up real nice. Won't have anything hanging down there. Got nice backing in here. The only place that doesn't have backing is just this 1 square inch right on this corner, but I can cut this off right here and make it look nice and clean. Yeah, I think let's do that. Okay, got that closeout plate trimmed up in there. It looks real good. I also went ahead and split the tub in the back here. Now I've got to do some work on this back flange where the trunk floor is. I'll get up and show you where that, what I'm talking about in here. Yeah, like I need to weld a piece of flange in there and as well massage this so that it fits up nice and tight to the tub. Let's get that going. Okay, here's what that flange looks like on the inside here. It's a little short and it's a little ugly. I've made a little piece here that'll fit right up in there like so. But before I weld that in, I want to go ahead and finish up these closeout plates and get those welded in. They're looking pretty good. I just need to do a little touch up in here where there's a couple different layers. Here, I'll pull this off. I want to weld this shut up in here a little bit and get it so that that closeout plate will fit up real nice. As well as I got to weld up this flat steel that I put in here. So let's do that. Okay, I welded in the back edge of this guy here. I welded this up here, made it look good. As well, welded in this guy right here. I trimmed up this closeout plate a little bit so that it fits up in there pretty perfect. Let's slap her up in there for you. About like so. Yeah, looking good. I can blast this all with weld through primer and then weld this baby up there. Let's do that. Okay, I hit everything with weld through primer and welded it in, ground it down. It's looking good. I rebuilt this flange over here. I also added a little flange up in here. It's looking real good. Let's do final test fitment of that Minitub. Okay, got her clamped up in here. It's looking real good. I massaged out this back edge here so that it fits up real nice and tight to the frame rail and that back flange. And now I've got it marked out. Pull it off here, drill it out for plug welds, and coat everything in weld through primer. Let's do that. Okay, I got all the weld surfaces here coated with this Proform copper weld through primer. We'll see how it works compared to the Eastwood stuff that I've been using. I also use this punch here to punch the holes around this Minitub. Works awesome on this 18 gauge steel. Just pokes a perfect hole without any burrs. It's awesome. Let's throw this thing up in there and start buzzing it in. Okay, all the plug welds are done. They're looking real good. I really like this copper weld through primer. It's pretty awesome to work with. I'll show you the inside here real quick if I can get some light on it. Plug welds turned out real good. I'm real happy with the way this is turning out. Yep, right up and around through there. Now I've just got to make this little template right here for that split area and make a piece to go in there and weld that in. But yeah, you can see it's fitting up real nice to the floor there. Nice and tight all the way around. Looks good. The plug weld's up in there. Looking good. Pretty happy. Rock and roll. Okay, got that piece there cut and welded in, ground down. It's looking good. I also filled in back in here. There was a little bit of a hole in between the two inner and outer wheelhouses. Down around here, I got this flap here folded over and welded up, ground down. It's looking good. Now I can move on. Actually, I'll show you the back of this real quick. Show you how it turned out. Yeah, nice and solid in there. Real happy with it. Now I can move on to the trunk deck lid hinge support pieces. These guys here, I need to clean this up. Need to weld up this hole and that hole and that hole because it's going to fit right in behind here like so. I'll also need to massage it a little bit to get it down around this tub nice and tight, and do the same thing on that side. Let's get that going. I'll also need to cut the top off of this thing because back in here it sticks up too much, and this trunk lid hinge, whenever it swings down, it'll swing down in here and hit this, and then your trunk won't close. So got to zip the top of that off. Let's get to doing that. Okay, got these things cut off and welded up and drilled out for plug welds. Cleaned them up with a little degreaser here. Did the same thing inside the wheel well. Did the top of that guy, cleaned it up real good. Whenever I had the Minitub out of here, I was able to get to the back side of this, and I cleaned it up real good. Hit it with weld-through primer while I had good access to it, instead of trying to get down in there. So I'm gonna spray these with some weld-through primer in all this area, and then have it ready to be welded in. Okay, they're clamped in and ready to be made permanent. Let's do that. Okay, they're all welded in. That one's welded in. This guy over here is all welded in. Looks real good. I'm real happy with it. I can go ahead and cut out these brace pieces, but I'll wait till the car's on the rotisserie so I don't have to climb in the trunk again because my fat ass doesn't fit in there very well. I also need to weld these guys in. These are supports that go between the Minitub, the seat back, and the package tray. Kind of just up in there. But again, I'll do that after the cross bracing here is out of my way so that I'm not having to climb over the stuff to get in there to it. I think that's going to end this video. Minitubs are in. Looking good. Moving right along. Yeehaw. Thanks for watching.